Next tonight, to the toxic mix of isolation, financial strain and generational pressures said to be taking its toll on the mental health of farmers.
Experts say the well-being of workers in agriculture has reached crisis point, with one support group in Lincolnshire saying calls to their helpline have doubled in the last 4 years.
It's been on the agenda in Westminster today, with health and farming leaders highlighting to the Lords the daily stresses of farming life. We'll hear more about that shortly, but first, here's Emma Hayward.
Even with the shorter days, there's always something to do. Farming is like no other job, weather-dependent, unpredictable and relentless. It can be deeply satisfying, but also isolating.
I can spend 16 hours a day in a cab, in my own thoughts. You do have your mobile phone on you, but that can be a problem as well if you're seeing your friends at barbecues in summer and stuff like that, and you're left alone and you're in that tractor on your own. It's a hard place to sit, but I wouldn't have it any other way, because I do enjoy what I do, but it is a very hard place to sit.
Because of the pressures and isolation of the job, people working in agriculture are thought to be more vulnerable to mental health problems. Alec Newlove, a popular young farmer and talented sportsman from Louth, took his own life in 2024. He'd shown no signs he was struggling. His dad, an agricultural chaplain, is working hard to try and ensure no other family has to endure what his have.
If we can just help somebody else, if we can just share that message that talking helps, that getting alongside people helps, that doing the mental health first aid course is really important, as important as dealing with somebody who's had a physical accident, just to provide that support, just to get them out of that danger zone into a place where they can find the assistance and help that they need.
Farmers say they're working in increasingly stressful times, with cheap imports, rising costs and proposed changes to inheritance tax fueling their anxieties.
I know farmers that are refusing cancer treatments because they don't want to be here, and it's the only way they see to get round IHT, and it's not the answer, but to them it is the answer, and it's the only way they can pass their family farm on.
There's massive financial strains on the agricultural sector at the moment. The allied industries are feeling it, we're all feeling it. We've got political pressures. The weather's taking more of an adverse effect on agriculture and how farming and how we work. And prices are lousy and the nights are drawing in. So there's a lot of pressure on farmers at the moment. And it's just, if you've got to go out and talk to somebody, and sometimes it takes a big leap to do that.
That leap, along with a better understanding of what farmers need, could help safeguard the future of the industry. Emma Hayward, ITV News in Lincolnshire.
So, as we said, some of those issues were discussed at an event at the House of Lords today. Our political correspondent Fred Dimbleby has more from Westminster.
Well, in Parliament today, an event was held seeking to highlight some of those issues around isolation, around mental health for farmers. They used virtual reality stories to try to paint a picture of what day-to-day life is really like for some farmers. And one of the people who attended that event was Victoria Atkins, the Louth and Horncastle MP, but also, of course, the Shadow Environment Secretary. What did you learn from that event?
Well, it was so incredibly moving to see the stories that you're immersed in when you put the headset on. And these stories sadly reflect the conversations that I've been having with farming families up and down the country in the last year. And what we want to do is to help roll out this, but any other means of support for farmers and their friends and family who are finding life very tough at the moment.
We've heard today about the story of Alec Newlove, who sadly took his own life. What do you think cases like his show about the experience of farmers at this moment?
Well, it shows the desperation that many feel. Farming can be a joy, but it can also be a tough way of life. And particularly with the family farm tax looming ahead of them, I'm hearing daily from people who are so desperate that they are having conversations about taking that terribly tragic step themselves.
What would you say to the government about those taxes and about this issue more widely?
Axe the family farm tax. It's as simple as that. We are in a genuine food and farming emergency, with food prices rising, with the horrific impact of this tax looming, but also with record numbers of farms closing.
Victoria Atkins, thank you very much for your time. As you heard there, some strong feelings, many tonight calling on the government to give more support to farmers who are under stress.
Thank you, Fred Dimbleby in Westminster there for us. Now, in response to this issue, the Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs told us they acknowledge it's been a challenging time for farming. They went on to say that the government has invested billions of pounds in NHS mental health services and recruited 8,500 mental health professionals.
OK, thanks for watching Wednesday Night.